Yo guys, welcome to a brand new video on the Team Gullit YouTube channel. It's Levi here again, and today I'm gonna explain you everything you need to know about the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Before we start with the tactics, I have to mention something to you guys, because on Friday the 24th of November, Team Gullit's Clash will take place. It's the biggest EAFC 24 tournament in the Netherlands, powered by Philips OneBlade. 8 of the best players from the Netherlands will compete against each other for a prize pool of 5,000 euros. Last year I won it, so I hope I can continue that form and try to win it again. Players like Emre, Manuel, me, Dani, and other insane players from the Netherlands will be competing. So if you're curious about my tactics, keep watching this video. But if you're also curious about how I play, make sure to tune into Team Gullit's Clash stream on Friday, 24th of November. Now, let's jump into the tactics. This video I'm actually gonna explain 2 different tactics for the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow, which makes it a complete different formation just by some instructions and tactics you give to the formation. So make sure you keep watching. The first option, there for the defensive style, we have it on balanced. The width here is on 40, the depth is on 75. Obviously the 4-1-2-1-2 is a bit of a high pressure formation where you want to counter, so that's why I put high depth. Then balanced, direct passing and offense, width here is on 45, players in the box is on 7, corners and free kicks, as always, I leave them on 2 bars. Then for the instructions, on my goalkeeper I don't put anything at all. My right back is the one who's on balanced and overlap. My left back is the one who's on stay back and overlap. My CDM is on stay back while attacking and cover center. Same goes for my right center mid. My left center mid is only on cover center. That's Puteas in my case. I want her to be involved in the attack as much as possible, so that's why I leave her unbalanced. My cam is on stay forward, and same goes for my left striker and right striker. They are also on stay forward. So these are probably the common 4-1-2-1-2 tactics you know. It has been pretty similar to how people used it previous years. But now there is another tactic which is totally different and makes it way more easy to defend with this formation. For that option we go with 30 width in defense, depth is the same, 75. In build-up play we play on balanced, chance creation is on direct passing, the width is also the same, 45. Players in the box is on 5, a bit more defensive than the first option. Corners and free kicks, again, on 2 bars. Then the instructions is where it gets interesting. On my goalkeeper, I don't put anything. My right back is the same, it's on balanced and overlap. My left back is also the same, on stay back while attacking and overlap. My CDM is on stay back while attacking, cover center. Same goes for my right center mid, that's a bit boring. But now is where it gets interesting. On my left center mid, I don't put anything. Now, as you guys thinking, why don't you put cover center on her in this case, because this Puteas? That's because I also put comeback on defense on my central cam. That makes him defend as a right mid, and Puteas, my left center mid, will defend as a left mid. That makes me defend in a 4-4-2 instead of a 4-1-2-1-2, which makes it way easier to press my opponent. And if your opponent is a smart player, in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow with stay forward on your cam, which obviously is really good in attack, he has loads of space on the wing and can get in a 2v1 easily. So you could choose yourself, am I going with the first option or with the second? Now I will explain you guys the pros and cons about both options. First of all, we starting with the stay forward option on the cam. And then we obviously want to look into the attack, because I can tell you in attack it's one of the best formations there is, and especially on the counter attack. As you guys will see in these clips, you will always have like the triangle, which in my case is R9, Mbappe, Ginola up front. They will also stay there, so that makes it pretty good to counter attack with this formation. And when you are at the box of your opponent, you will always have options to pass, also because Puteas is unbalanced, of course, so she will always make the run at the left side of the pitch. And you obviously have your right back on balance, so in my case Cancelo, and he will always try to make the pitch as wide as possible and get the run on the right side. As you can see in these clips, it's so good for tiki-taka. I would also say it's maybe the prime Barcelona formation if you want to play like that. You can play so many quick passes and there are just options and runs everywhere. But as I said, on the wings in defense it could be pretty vulnerable. So let's take a look at that. What is the disadvantage you have when you play this stay forward on your cam in defense? As you guys can see in these clips, I think it's pretty easy to see. the wings are so open, so my opponent has all the space in the world to just dribble up the pitch with his fullbacks, and he can wait for me to step out, because at some point I need to put pressure, because otherwise he will reach my box way too easy. So if your opponent is smart, he just keeps switching it from the left side to the right side until he finds space, then he can just walk up the pitch. The only dangerous thing for him here, if he fails to do that and loses the ball early, I always have the 3 players up front who are coming up against 2 center backs together. So that's pretty easy in counter-attack. So that's why I personally would recommend this first option if you're, for example, chasing a game and you want to counter-attack. And the second option is probably a bit more balanced. That's why I put the players in the box there on 5 as well and not on 7. For me, if you start the game, just start with the second option. If you feel like your opponent is maybe playing better than you or you need to change something, you could definitely go for that first option. Now let's see what happens in attack when you have the comeback on defense for your cam and cover wing on your left center mid, of course. As I said, makes it defend in a 4-4-2, so that means you're gonna counter attack in a 4-4-2 as well. This means Ginola will be on the right side, probably has space on the wing, and Putellas most of the times will start the counter attack on the left side. Instead of the triangle you always will have up front, you now have wide players to pass it to and maybe take space with. It just depends on what you prefer personally. And as I said, in which point of the game you are. Are you leading a game? Are you chasing a game? These are all things you need to think about, whether you play the first or the second option. Although it will start in a 4-4-2 defensively, once you come up to his box and the attack takes a bit longer, you will again get the triangle with Ginola, R9 and Mbappe in my case, up front every time, and it will just be easy to play quick passes again. So the only thing is, you won't have the triangle right there up front in the counter attack. But once the attack takes a bit longer, you will still get the counter attack. Get Putellas on the left, Cancelo will make the run on the right. So in attack, the second option will basically be the same as the first, apart from the counter attack. And now, last but not least, obviously the biggest advantage of playing the comeback on defense on your cam and the cover wing on your left center mid, which makes it defend as a 4-4-2, which obviously makes it way easier to defend and pressure opponent than in a 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. As you can see in these clips, I can press my opponent finally. With the first option that wasn't really possible because his fullbacks had a lot of space. This just makes it way easier to defend. I can win the ball on the wing, which also is really dangerous for my opponent. If he loses it right there, I will always have 2 options up front with Mbappe and R9. Not 3, unfortunately, as with the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. But 2 players there up front looking for the counter-attack also is pretty dangerous, obviously. So I would recommend you guys to use both options, try them out. Let me know down below in the comments which one you think suits you best. I like the second option more because it's a bit more balanced. But if you want to have fun, I think the first option could be a good shout for you. Make sure to like this video, comment if you want, and also don't forget to subscribe. See you guys next time.